What's happening, YouTube? Hey, welcome to the first episode of Absolutely Hypocritical. Man, it's an awkward feeling to keep it real, but we're gonna go ahead and give it a shot. Um, so basically, I want to make this first video really just about respect. I've been seeing a lot of things lately online, and just hearing certain folks who have a prominent voice speak out about what certain things going on in the streets lately. In particular, things like, rest in peace, PNB Rock, the PNB Rock situation. Then down in Texas, think you had dude BFG Strap, him and one of his little partners, they got smoked, right? It's just been happening a lot lately. Then what Lil Uzi Vert's little artist, something Cass Desto or something like that, she got hit. And it seems like it's a trend for these type of things to be happening. And I think respect and then things that come along with that, they've been taken out of context. For example, everybody be talking about checking in. And then if you notice, it seems like the younger generations, the younger rappers, things like that, oh, I ain't checking in, I ain't checking in. Um, I don't know who taught them what checking in was, but it's obvious whoever taught them what checking in was didn't tell them the right info. Um, checking in is simple. It's something as simple as, I got family over this way. Me personally, I got family in Houston, Texas. I got family in Kansas City, Missouri, St. Louis. I got family all over the place, North Carolina. Checking in is something as simple as calling my aunts, uncles, cousins, nieces, nephews. Hey, I'm finna be down there next week. Blah blah blah. You know what I mean? What's a good hotel? You know what I mean? Good restaurant, good spot to go kick it at. You know what I mean? Uh, Checking in is not, oh, hey bro, I gotta pull up on you and I gotta pay the hood. Like, nah. First of all, if you're not from the hood, you shouldn't even be there. Period. Unless you have a reputable person from that hood. You know what I mean? And when I say a reputable person, like, you've seen his interactions with the hood. You know what I mean? Not somebody who just, oh, bruh, it's good, I got you. Oh, you need some weed? Nah, that ain't it, bruh. That ain't it. You know, uh, rest in peace, Quando Rondo's partner, Lil Pub, whatever his name is. Sorry if I mispronounce it. Um, but rest in peace to him. But Quando and them, in a situation like that where you don't want to check in, you know, and let's just get this straight off the top. I am not affiliated with no organizations, no gangs, never have been. I'm not in bad standing with nobody. I've never been affiliated. Northerners, Southerners, Bloods, Crips, BDs, GDs, BPS, none of them. I ain't never been affiliated with none of them. So I feel, my outlook is important from the sense that, a lot of these situations, when we hear people speak on them, a lot of these people are affiliated with other organizations. No problem with that. It's just, I could be a different voice, being that I'm not affiliated with any of these organizations. And I have close comrades from almost all of those organizations, believe it or not. Um, but the reason something like having respect can be so vital, to go back to the checking in thing, you know, A lot of people know, specifically Quando is from Rolling 60s, right? But out in Atlanta, not the LA set. It's from out that way, right? Now, most people already know, especially the ones who are affiliated, know that neighborhood Crips, they like that, right? Now, LA is the mecca of gangbanging. So what this means in LA, that ain't the same thing what that means back in Georgia. So now you come from Georgia like this, where you might have that enemy, this enemy, not that much, or maybe you got a lot of enemies. But regardless, you come to LA with that same nigga, you don't know you got half LA on your ass. But because you didn't want to check in, you feel me? Or you didn't want to tap in, you didn't want to reach out, whatever you want to call it. But really, you just didn't want to show some respect. Look at the situation that happened. And some might take this that, oh, maybe I'm talking shit, or I'm like, I don't feel bad for his situation. I feel really bad for the situation. That's why I chose to make this my first video about respect, because I see it happening so much. And, I told you guys I'm not affiliated, right? Well, I could go where I know someone out, I could go to any hood and not have any problems. And it's not because I'm the biggest gangster or I think nobody could fuck with me or nothing like that. It's simply because I have respect, not only for others, but also for myself. And that's another point I want to make about this video. When I say having respect, it's not just about having respect for other folks. It's also about having respect for yourself. There's it's a famous saying, right? You must give in order to receive. You must give in order to receive, right? Perfect example on some weird shit. For real, for real. I read this in a book. I forget the name of the book. Maybe I'll look it up and I'll find it. But I was reading in a book, and it was speaking on that saying, in order to receive, you have to give in order to receive, excuse me, right? And it gave the example of you starting a fire, right? And me personally, I failed to recognize it like this until I read that example. You guys may have recognized it, but I didn't. But, I don't think I ever consciously sat there and thought about, in order to start a fire, I have to give it some wood and some flame, right? Obviously, that to start a fire, you need a flame and some wood. But you're not thinking to yourself like, oh, this is me giving my part to start this fire. Now this fire is going to give me this heat in return, or this fire is going to cook my food in return. It's a favor for a favor, but you can't get the heat from that fire or the cooked food from that fire without giving it a flame, a source to burn. You feel me? It don't happen that way. And I swear, I know it seems so simple, but that little example, it was just deep to me, to keep it real. It was just deep. And I've heard people, whether I've been behind the wall, I've been shopping, whatever it is. I hear people, they always ask me, oh, where are you from, or where's your family from? Just because the way I talk, I'm a very respectful individual. I don't address people outside their names. Uh, if I'm either getting something from a store, I'm like paying for some gas or something, or I'm ordering some food, because that person is in a position to serve me. But I'm always going to show the utmost respect. Like, I don't understand that about people these days. You know, you have somebody making your food and you're going to be hella rude to them. What sense does that make? You know, that makes no sense at all. You know, you got this person ordering food. Let's say they made a mistake. All right, it's a mistake though. You know, and then you want to get bent all out of shape and, oh, well, hurry up, blah, 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 and get on their line. Blood, they making your food. It ain't too far-fetched of an idea that someone, you rude enough to them, they gonna spit in your shit. You know what I mean? Now, because they spit in your food, let's say you happen to find out they did it. You know, who knows what's gonna happen? You know, but all because you wanted to be rude. Now, most people don't have the ability to say, oh, well, you know, I could have changed that situation by the way I acted. You know, most people don't have that maturity. And, you know, my dad actually taught me something, a very valuable piece of information. The quickest way to change someone else's behavior is to change your behavior. And really, 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 really think about that. The quickest way to change someone else's behavior is to change your behavior. Once you understand that and once you can apply that, it will make your life a lot easier, a lot less stressful. Because for almost every situation, you'll look within. And there's almost no way you could lose at that point. There's almost no way you could lose at that point. You know, and I think when doing that, you know, whenever there's an issue with anything, you know, and whenever you could look within, you know, people will see that and it will start to change their minds. But you know, we as a culture, and I don't mean black folks, I don't mean any race. I literally mean for anybody who's in this struggle. You know, we have to start changing the way we move. We have to start changing the way we move. You know, we're losing too much. You know what I mean? We lose great people every day, and I don't mean just rappers. You know what I mean? I'm not talking about just these people that we see on TV or we see in music videos. It's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about daily. You know, the people we never hear about. We got to start doing something different, because all this division and all this for self, man, that it don't work out. Like this respect thing, right? People have to realize that the world is so interdependent upon one another. And what I mean by that is, and again, this might be some weird shit to y'all, but again, if you could really understand it and realize it, I'm telling you, it will change your mind. So for example, bees pollinate certain plants, correct? So bees pollinate certain plants, right? So strawberries, just for example, strawberries. We wouldn't have strawberries if bees didn't pollinate plants, right? Other types of food. We drink milk, right? From another animal, right? We grow food in soil. The soil has to be good in order for us to grow food. If it's not, we can't grow food. Everything that someone does is dependent upon the action of something else in this world. If you're driving this way on the freeway, if you're going to work on the freeway, and And um, let's say you get into an accident, right? With another car. Well, think about how many things had to have lined up the way they did in order for that to take place. You had to get up at a certain time. You had to be ready by a certain time. You had to leave by a certain time. That person from over there had to leave at a certain time. All those different situations had to have happened in order for this one particular incident to take place. Nothing in this world happens basically by itself in a vacuum. It is dependent upon the action of something else. No matter what that something else may be, it is dependent upon the action of something else. In understanding that, that would want to make you be more respectful of your surroundings, of your others, of yourself, to have the best possible outcome. You know, it's like gambling in the casino. Are you going to go to freaking the dude that everybody's been getting killed on? Or are you going to go to the dude who he's been paying out more people than dude who's been killing everybody? Of course, you're going to give yourself the best chances to try to win the most money. Why not do the same in life? You know, because what you do by not showing respect to yourself, to others, you shortstop anything else you got going on. And if you're trying to get some money or you trying to get somewhere in life, you shortstopping everything you got going on. You know, I hate to use this situation, but I'm gonna do it. The P&B Rock situation. Rest in peace to P&B Rock. That's a ridiculous way to have to go out. Regardless, I don't care where you're from, what you look like, what you're doing, and I I understand both sides to the story, but in all actuality, you should be able to go anywhere you want to, wearing anything you want to, and not have to worry about somebody taking your life for it. $100,000 in jewelry, $500,000 in jewelry, $1,000,000 in jewelry. You should be able to go to wherever you want and not have to worry about losing your life. But that's not reality. That's not reality. Reality is you got people who are out here hungry, who are really suffering, and they're literally willing to give up their life to try to come up. You know, and this is what I mean, to tie this all in. This is what I mean about being respectful to yourself and to others. You know, there's a video of P&B Rock where I guess he was on live with somebody and they had a little issue or whatnot. And dude was like, they was just going back and forth talking shit to each other, right? And then there was another interview where P&B Rock was with DJ Academics, and DJ Academics was talking about people trying to test him, people trying to rob him, you know, trying to finesse him. And P&B Rock, if you watch his response was, oh yeah, they didn't try, but I'll be on point. Like I'm too smart for that. Like I'll be peeping, I'll be aware, you know. And it was almost like his answer was in arrogance. If you pay attention, this is just my opinion. His answer was almost in arrogance, like he couldn't be touched. And you know, again, rest in peace to P&B Rock. I'm just calling it like I see it, but that's a mistake in itself right there. You know, he was talking about he was with his family when somebody almost tried to finesse him, you know, and then he goes out to eat with his girl at Roscoe's after you didn't put the energy out there that basically you can't be touched. Again, in a perfect world, he should be able to go wherever he wants, with whatever he wants on, with whoever he wants to. and should not have to worry about being robbed or losing his life. He should be able to, but that's not reality. You know, and again, I think we're responsible for a lot of the energy that we bring to ourselves. Am I saying that if he wouldn't have put out like that type of energy, like he couldn't be fucked with, would that situation have still happened? I don't know. I can't call it. But what I can say is you would have increased your chances. For surely you would have increased your chances. What's wrong with that? You know, man, that I know most people might not agree with it, but again, we got to keep it real, because in order to make change, you have to be able to, one, look at yourself in the mirror and be able to call it like it is. Again, I don't know that wouldn't have happened if he wouldn't have put out that energy. But again, you would have increased your chances. Again, rest in peace to PNB Rock. That's ridiculous. It's an unfortunate situation. But I think we should all use these last few months of seeing how many people are dying and all these things happening. I think we should really use this to take a look at each one of ourselves and try to hold ourselves more accountable. To include myself. This is not me saying you guys should do this. This is saying I think we should all do this. And when I say all, I'm included in all. I'm not better or worse than any of you guys. And you guys are neither better or worse than anybody else. But with that being said, I think that's where I'm pretty much going to end it. Let me know what you guys think. Like, comment, subscribe. Hate if you want to. Really quick, I'm just getting started with my little issue, but there is a few people, a few podcasters, a few content creators that I watch, and I really enjoy their content. So I just want to go ahead and give a shout out to all those content creators. First and foremost, let's start with I like Dubs. I think you're I think you got a great channel going. I really appreciate your content. You seem like a respectable OG, if I could say that. I like Gunner's Collective. I think your issue's dope, funny as hell. The wind's blowing. One never knows does one. Full is dope. Hoodie from the Hood, dope content. I like watching your channel. Hood Stocks. Man, there's so many haters world. With Blue Devil, show is dope. I like his. Hood Stocks got me hooked. Again, back to Hood Stocks. Hood Stocks got me hooked. Dirty Weather 916 player. Him, I know I'm forgetting somebody. I'll throw it in another day. Again, salute to all those individuals. Keep doing your thing. Maybe one day in the future, once I get my numbers up, maybe we could link up and collab. Until next time, you guys have a beautiful day. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. It's not what you play, it's how you play it. Y'all have a good one. I'm out.